So you know that you want to become a personal trainer, and you've heard about our AAE Certified Personal Trainer course, but you're skeptical or you don't understand it fully yet, and I get it. So let me explain how this actually works. I'm Nathan Ebenezer. I'm the RTO Manager and National Head of Education for AAE. First up, if you just want the piece of paper and you want it cheap and fast, then I'm sorry, we're not the RTO for you. Now, if you've stayed, then you want to know how we execute Australia's highest quality nationally accredited PT course and what's involved. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of key points about our course. They're going to be our 2 delivery methods and how they run, what you actually get when you become an AAE student, what we actually deliver within the course, and what are the steps to enrolling. So to kick us off, we have 2 methods of delivery, and neither of them are online only. So again, if that's your thing, I'm sorry. The first is our hybrid method. This is the method we built ourselves around. This is a virtual lecture in-person delivery layout. So your online learner portal houses everything you need to educate yourself beyond the have-tos to pass a certificate in fitness. And it's also the central hub for all of your assessments, submissions, extra resources, downloads, lecture content, books, readings, and more. There is over 200 hours of course content and beyond to consume. Course progression here is laid out just like this, on the one tab, in the one place, in a logical order that you can simply follow from top to bottom. So you're not overwhelmed or unsure where to go next with the amount of stuff that we have in there. Now your weekly workshops are where the deepest difference is made. So across 26 weeks, we deliver weekly virtual lectures covering the theory of that week's topic. Then we follow this up with your in-person workshop where we are applying the things we just learnt. So in short, you have an open access online portal you can progress through as fast as you like with no topic lockouts. You have a virtual session each week, which is of course recorded if you miss it. And you have an in-person workshop to round the week out and apply the learnings that you've just gone through. The second method is our intensive method. So let's say you love everything you've heard, but you simply don't have the logistical freedom to make the hybrid method work each week. Or you simply just live too far away from one of our host facilities. This is going to be the option for you. So this delivery method follows a mega similar process to our hybrid method. You still have your online open access, you still have the virtual workshops. The only difference is that instead of attending the in-person workshop every week, we group your in-person workshops into intensives. So these include one day where you'll come in to our host facility and go through a concentrated collection of workshop content and practical tasks with other students just like yourself. So these are going to occur multiple times throughout the year and your enrollment, and are open for you and other students to book into as needed. So this is the best way that we can ensure that we are still going to deliver the hands-on, real-world learning needed from a proper course like this. So regardless of which delivery method you choose, you get the same benefits and resources in both. So both are going to give you full open access to all the learner portal stuff, all of the content and the handouts from 26 weeks of workshops, the 3 extra courses, so the ESCS, the Emerging Strength Coach System, the Fitness MBA, or Fitness Business 101, and Nutritional Fundamentals. You're going to get the facility access to study and train, and you're going to be able to direct message our staff, our teachers, get in on the community chat access, have unlimited support session bookings, and of course, you're going to be able to get on the phone with me anytime you need to go over things that are course relevant or not. And the kicker, you still get that full year of mentorship after you get certified from us, so we can stay in your corner for whatever you need, be it a reference, guidance, or help with a program for a client. So I keep going on about content, but what do we actually deliver? So I'll save you the yarn about each individual unit because you already have that in your course guide that you've downloaded. I will quickly take you through what each learning cluster is and what the workshops are going to cover though. The online learner portal is broken down in this order from start to finish. So in your certificate 3, we have first aid. That's pretty self-explanatory. We go into anatomy and physiology, and we value this more than everyone else. We learn the anatomy of the nervous, skeletal, muscular, cardiovascular, and respiratory systems up front and in depth. We also dive into the physiology of energy production and the energy systems of the body that you use when working out. And of course, we'll talk about the theory of adaptation. We push on into health screening, movement screening, and fitness testing. So this is all your common testing methods for movement, for strength and fitness and performance, along with how to actually conduct them and the overarching process of onboarding a new client. Now we go into work health safety, and most people won't tell you this, but yes, you have to do this regardless of which RTO you go with. It's a core unit. What I can tell you though is that we get it, we don't want to spend long here at all, and we make sure that we get through this quick. We then go into group exercise. So this is how to manage multiple people, create sessions, and deliver them effectively. We then go into the main one, personalized programming and nutrition. So here you really deep dive into all things program creation and coaching. We'll learn about hypertrophy, strength, recovery, sets, reps, RPE, RIR, % 1RM loading, exercise choices, the fit and exercise science principles, you name it. You spend nearly 50% of your Certificate 3 here. And the final one for Cert 3 is personal, team, and client priorities, which is all based around organizing KPIs and organizing yourself outside of the course. Going into your Cert 4, we start with individualized and advanced exercise programs. So building from personalized programs in Cert 3, you revisit your programming, but with way more layers added on. So we go with advanced methods of power and speed training, specific youth long-term athletic development, interval, conditioning work, and longer-term program blocks, and much, much more. The next cluster we go into is supporting healthy eating and behavior change. So again, building from our Cert 3, we dive back into nutrition, but introduce elements of sports and performance-specific nutrition, variations on methods to approaching how you might prescribe nutrition advice, and we introduce behavior change. Then the third cluster is our strength and conditioning one, and this is the kicker. This is where AA shines. We finish your programming and coaching journey with a specific S&C portion where you'll find yourself applying things like annual planning, periodization, load tracking and monitoring, contrast training methods, sport-specific training, and the big picture building blocks of training phases and athletic clients. And we round our Cert 4 then with new fitness business. And this makes sense to me to finish on. This is what it sounds like. It's an intro to business in general and builds into you literally creating your own business plan to enact the day you leave this course. So you actually have a plan of attack with what to do with the paper you get. Our Certificate 3 on its own runs for 14 weeks, while the Cert 4 runs for 12 weeks. And yes, if you stick to the schedule and commit, you will finish each certificate in that time frame. The full AAE Certified Personal Trainer course runs for 26 weeks with an orientation session preceding it and a break week between the certificates to allow you to de-stress and catch up on work before moving on. Now, your weekly workshops run adjacent and complement your online learning. They're obviously not just two separate things. This means what you learn from your online theory resources is expanded on in live virtual lecture, then executed practically in person with us in our facility. So from start to finish, they go as follows. We kick off with an orientation session and we introduce the stress, fatigue, recover, adapt theory, which underpins everything you learn. We then go into the big basics number 1 and your lower body anatomy. We go into the big basics 2 and upper body anatomy. Then it's health and movement screening the following week. And after that, fitness testing. Then we do work health, safety and risk, and we get that one done. Then it's back into group exercise and circuit training 1, programming. Then it's group exercise and circuit training 2, coaching and delivery. Then we're back in with energy systems the following week. Then we go into the main chunk of Cert 3, the basics of programming, then the hypertrophy programming series, specific populations programming, where we do elderly and pregnant clients specifically, then strength and power programming, then nutrition number 1. Then the last week of Cert 3 is a coaching week, where you get to put into practice everything you just learned. We take a gap week, and it's a week off before we come back and start Cert 4 with recovery, where theory meets practice. We do youth and long-term athletic development, advanced strength and power methods, then interval training, where we'll learn MAS, tempos, and heart rate prescription. We go into our second coaching night. Then we're back for plyometrics, tracking and monitoring clients, nutrition number 2, and we introduce some behavior change elements. Then periodization, so long-term programming, Olympic lifting, coaching night number 3, and we round it all out with our fitness business night, right before you finish off your Cert 4 or your entire certified trainer qualification. All right, now that might seem like a lot, and it's because it kind of is. The kind of student we want to work with is the kind of student who is legitimately serious about this. This is not the course to enroll into to just get the paper and you already think you know everything. This is for the committed and the motivated student. So again, If the thought of all the stuff I just said makes you go ugh and sigh, and it doesn't excite you, then we honestly wish you well, but this might not be the course for you. If you do get excited at how much there is, then keep watching. So what do you get from the moment you join us? Now this is far simpler. You immediately get access to your learner portal we spoke about, and you can start commencing your learning and doing tasks from the moment you enroll. We'll open up your extra course access, and you'll get your access method to our facility immediately as well. We'll add you into our direct messaging chats and groups. We can link you into any previous workshop recordings you might be interested in so you can watch that early. And we organise another initial meet and greet with not only me, but your teacher, if it's not going to be me, and our head of education for the state you're in. We don't drip feed you any of this. Once you're in, you get everything you're supposed to up front. So what next? If you stayed on this far, then you're thinking that this might be the course for you. But you likely want to know 3 things. 1, how do I pay for it? 2, when do I start and can I start now? And 3, is this actually real or is Nathan taking the piss a little bit? Now these are important points, so stay with me. Regarding payment, it doesn't need to be an awkward chat because it's just a fact of getting into something like this. Of course we do payment plans if you wish. The overall price will of course depend on what qualification you decide to do with us. As far as payment itself goes though, we have a default listed on our guide and website. But if you want to do this and finances are the only barrier for you and the default seems a bit high, then just talk to me and we will make it work for you, where you can absolutely individualize your plan and where possible, help you with financial aid. Don't make this an excuse, let us help. Now you can start literally right after this video. We have scheduled intakes, of course, but because we own our own facilities and therefore don't have to rent any space or bend to some big brand gym, we can accommodate you immediately. We can enroll you right now and get everything started for you. Get your access and automatically save you a spot for the next upcoming intake of face-to-face sessions. You don't have to wait around. You can start, get learning, progress through the course, talk to us, come into other workshops and the facility, and by the time your face-to-face workshops begin, you could already be miles ahead. And quite frankly, a big chunk of our students actually do this. And lastly, am I full of shit? Obviously not. But don't just take my word for it, obviously again. Check out the numerous students who have voluntarily decided to jump in front of a camera like this for the whole world to see and give us their honest feedback. And hey, if you want to speak to one of them, we can even arrange that. That's the kind of impression that we leave on our students. So well done, you've made it to the end and I thank you for your time. So what to do right now? Well, book in a commitment call with me after this is done and get yourself a foot in the door. I'll pick up the phone and from there, I can answer anything else you still need answered. And after that, when you're happy, I'll get you started in the Athletes Authority Certified Personal Trainer course. Speak soon.